O'clock. This is the regular city council meeting for August 6th, 2025. We have just finished a special council meeting prior to this meeting, and we've already taken care of the pledge and opening prayer. So we'll go ahead and get right into the action items. This will be action item, public hearing / ordinance, truth and taxation, and certified tax rate. Kathy?
Okay, get going here. Sorry, I should have had that up. So this is the notice that was put out in the paper. You'll see that what we're proposing is a 0.001299 tax rate. On a $447,000 residence, that would be about $49.42 a year. On a business that would be taxed at 100%, that'd be about $89.84. It is 18.16% above the certified tax rate that was issued by the county auditor. The purpose of the proposed increase is to fund debt service on 1/2 of the estimated cost of the fire station. Now, we estimate that the fire station will be about $10 million. Of that, we're planning on paying 1/2 of it out of the fund balance of the capital fund. If you look here, this kind of gives you an idea of different market valuations of the city, and you can kind of see what the increase in your certified tax rate will be. When we look at a pie chart of all the assessments for Payson City residents, our portion is about 13%. Nebo School District has about 73%. You can see the breakdown there a little bit. Here's kind of a history of the certified tax rate. The last 5 or so years, we've tried to hold the certified tax rate steady. Sorry. Oh, am I not? Sorry. Okay. This is the first year we've raised it a little bit just so that we can bring in that debt service coverage into the general fund. And that's all we've got on the certified tax rate. Do you have any questions?
Could you go back to the slide showing all the different prices of properties and the different, the one right before? Yes, thank you.
Have a specific question about those tax rates?
No, I just wanted to see it again so I could look
Okay.
over these numbers. No specific
Okay.
questions. Thank you.
Okay. Council, any questions that you need to ask Kathy? Okay, if there's no questions, we'll move on to I'll accept the motion to open a public hearing.
Mayor, I motion that we open the public hearing in the truth and taxation and certified tax rate.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and seconded. Be a roll call vote, starting with Council Christensen.
Yes.
Council Rowley.
Yes.
Council Moss.
Yes.
And Council Hyatt.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open a public hearing. Please step to the mic if you would like to come up and address us and address what has been given to us by Kathy, and whether you agree or disagree with it. And let us know who you are and where you're from. So we'll go ahead and open it.
Just so you know, Brian.
Oh, okay, Brian Hewlett is on. Welcome, Brian.
Does anyone have an Apple charger?
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for being there. Can you hear us?
Yep, I can
Brian,
hear
can you
you.
hear us? Okay.
Yep, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
So I had like
would
all
you
my
identify
questions.
yourself, please?
Hi guys, I'm Easton Brady. I had all my questions written down on my phone and then it died. I had 4% and then it died. So they have a quick cord. I can plug it in here just so I can get it charged. But, yeah. Yeah, there's a USB-C. I'll talk and then I just need like a second. How long does this bad boy go? Oh, this bad boy will go all the way there. I'm good. I'm way good. Thank you.
I can't hear.
I'm not talking right now. Sorry, I'm
Okay, just
some
so you
technical
know,
difficulties for the millennial. My bad.
we'll be glad to hear your comments. I don't know whether it's a question and answer.
No,
period,
I have stuff. My phone died.
but- Okay, fine.
Does someone else want to go while it's just rebooting? Because it's going to take like 30 seconds. We're pretty good on time. The other meeting was pretty
30
short.
seconds is fine.
6:03.
30 seconds is fine. You're up and talking, so.
Sorry, things happen. Alrighty, so I just wanted to bring up some things about the fire station. I've had a great opportunity meeting with Chief Spencer, going over the certified tax rate. I think for me, it's around like $3.80 or $4 a month, and my T-Mobile bill just went up $10. My Xfinity bill went up a little bit. I was able to renegotiate that. I mean, in the current state of times that we're at, things are going up all the time. I mean, every day there's something that's going up, something going up. And I work for the government, and I know that government takes time to adjust to inflation. It just does. So a business, we all, some of us work in the private, I work in the public. When anything happens with inflation, it takes time for the change to see it in the private or in the public. The private's fast. They got to make money. Same with the government needs to maintain it, maintain our road, maintain public safety, maintain our fire station, maintain these things. But it takes time. Just like the sewer plant and those things, COVID happened and things went way up. And we as a city have to readjust. It sucks for everyone, but it is what it is. But if it's $4, this isn't asking $4 for a golf course or, this is what people have said in the past. This is for public safety. The city I'm from Mill Creek, Utah. I love that city. Well, I don't know if y'all remember what happened a few weeks ago. A fire took out Payson, don't want to be saying that. That did not come out correctly because, we're in a bad fire season. My apologies, y'all. In Mill Creek, a bad fire happened. Well, we had a fire station right by our house, and that was when we were part of the county because Mill Creek for the longest time was part of the county. I was on the campaign actually to become a city in 2015. Sorry, off topic. So the fire department there, we got a new fire department, and there were some people that were mad, but 80%, 90% were for it. You always had the 10 or 20 that are against taxes. This isn't taxes to our federal government to send money to Ukraine or to send money to change women to men and men to women. This is money for public safety, for fires and stuff like that. Like, I don't know why we're even negotiating or even having a public hearing about it, or I'm here up even defending it. But then T-Mobile and all those places can raise everything $15. And yes, I can just shop around. I can continue to shop around all I want. If I do that in this current economy, I'm going to be just doing it all the time. And by doing that, you're going to lose more money. Okay. You just are. It's stupid to do that. You got to be consistent. You got to just, keep going up and up. So I think my phone, it's up so I can make sure, anything else. So that's what I want to first say about the cost. We need it. The city is growing. We have the oldest fire department in the county. If we do nothing, we still need something to do. If we do nothing with our growth, which is too late for that, we're doing it. Sorry. It's just the way it is. The state requires it. So what do? We do nothing, then we fall short. We do more than something, it's probably better than nothing. So that's all I'm going to say. I think we need to do more than nothing, because doing nothing, you're going to be screamed at. By doing too much, you're going to be, yeah, you know how it is. Sorry, I don't want to go on a tangent. So my hometown did that. Remember, the fire station came in Mill Creek, and it was worth it. Most people were for it. And I don't think back then it was probably 50 cents, going and getting 2 gumballs. Right now it's a 4 for $4 at Wendy's. That's my favorite meal, Wendy's and McDonald's. I love that for lunch. Anyway, so my point is, it's not a lot. But we're going to argue about these things, but then the federal government asks for $1,500, and where's that going to? We don't even see it. But I can go call up any of these people, say, hey, where's my $5 going? I don't think President Trump knows where that $1,500 is going. He probably is. That's why we have Doge. But But yeah, so that's why I'm 100% for the fire department. I'm 100% for the police. That's why we can please supporting them, and I will, and I think our city does, and I know that Utah County does, and the state does. And I think a lot of people just need to become to city council. I've been coming to city council this entire year. I've seen the budget. I know what's going on with the budget. The city workers are phenomenal. They work their butt off. I'm impressed with them. I know the city council is impressed with them. So, there's a lot of people that aren't in the arena. They're the critics. The critics that aren't here, where are they? I see them on Facebook talking about all these things. And I'm like, where are you guys? I haven't seen you. And they, oh, well, I watch it online, or I get the notes, Spark Notes afterwards. Okay, well, you're still a keyboard warrior. So I'm here, I'm walking the walk. I'm currently doing a fundraiser for Payson Fire and Payson EMT, all of them, all our first responders. I got 4 businesses right now to back it. We got free drinks. We got over $300 in drinks from 3 different companies. We have half off subs for all of our first responders because I'm walking the walk, and that's what Payson needs to do. We care about our first responders. The average age in Payson is 29. And with that, we got to invest in them, because if we don't invest in them, why are they going to invest in us? They're going to keep going else somewhere else. So that's what I'm going to say. I love Payson. Oh, another thing, if we make the fire station a lot of money, put a lot of money into it. Mill Creek made it big. People were, of course, mad about that. But by making it big, you keep the fire rate insurance big because they had all the, the trucks. You keep the insurance down, but then you have it ready for growth. So what happens if we get 25 more thousand people here in 20 years, which, I would rather not be too fast. We got to have that green space, baby. But say it does grow 25,000 more. We build a big, beautiful station. What if we just do it really small, save 2 million? I've heard some people say on Facebook. Well, the problem with that, if we do 10 million now, is it 10 million roughly? Okay, thank you. What? 10, okay. And the city, I just want to point out, the city saved 6 million, right? 6 million?
5.
5. That's pretty good in these times. I'm trying to save the best I can. We have a sewer plant, 80 million that we have to do. Sucks. We have to do it. So if the city can save 5 million, I'm impressed. I love it. I wish I could save better than that. I'm joking. I'm young. I'm doing my best, but the city's young. We're about to graduate high school. We have a lot of growing pains, but think about it when you're in your 30s and the city is doing really well. Think about that. Think about the growth. We got to think about the big picture. You have to spend money to make money. I'm 29 or turning 29 this year. I got to spend money to make money right now. I got to put my money away to see the future. And we got to do that. We can't think short term. I think Payson looked short term for so long, and that's the problem. We're seeing the growing pain from the sewer plant. We're seeing all these things because we did not enact or weren't fast enough in planning. Now we're doing it now. We got a great city council. We got a great city fighting for the city residents of 26,000 and more. A lot more coming. Let's go. So anyway, just to end up my last few points, sorry, Mayor, and sorry, Council. I really appreciate you guys taking my time. And of course, I always forget my last thing I'm going to end on, so I really am sorry. But maybe that's just where I'm going to have to end because you guys are bored of me. I really am sorry. Please give me 5 seconds. Oh, I just wanted to point out also, yesterday there was an event at the police at the Pete Neat, and it was phenomenal. I had some of the cops got to talk to him, and the firemen, and my daughters got to go into it. Just want to say this is another, it was perfect to have that yesterday. I was like able to be there and be able to be with the police and know that, and the firemen to know what we're about to just do for them. So, I know what I was saying. So there was the 8 million. So you said, why don't we do like a $6 or $8 million station? I say, okay, well, economics is simple. We do a $6 or $8 million station. 5 years, we're going to need another one, and it's going to be $15 million. So now we just spent $21 million for 2 stations for the price of 1 when we could have done the price. Sorry, we do 2 stations for the price of 21 because let's say we do 5 now. Well, then in 15 years, it's another 15 million. So that's 20 million for 2 stations because we had growth. Yeah, impact fees are going to go up. We're doing studies. I get that. But if we do 10 million now for a good, big, beautiful station, we don't need one down here for a long time. Am I right? That's the whole point of making a big station. So then we save money in the long term. So we put away more now. What do we see in the future? I'd rather put $100 away today and have it be 1,000 tomorrow than put 10 away today and have it be worth 100. I'm Easton Brady. You have a wonderful day. Thank you. And I look forward to have a safe, beautiful city. I love love our fire department, love our police. I'm walking the walk, and I hope that the city council votes yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Easton.
Thank you.
You bet.
My name is Chris Kilmer. I'm not running for city council, so I think our approach, I agree with one thing that he said is that we're not thinking long-term, right? And that's been our problem for a long time. And I think we need to take a different approach to government. All right? We being Payson city government has bought into this idea that we have to have property tax. We have to have this, we have to that. We have to have a new city building immediate, right? We always want more and more and more. We have to grow. We have to do, Easton, I think he surrendered to 6 different things while he was up here, right? He surrendered to inflation. He surrendered to the state. He surrendered to the concept that we can't do a less expensive fire station. I think that's completely the incorrect way to look at things. Now, on the handout that I gave you, it shows you your total revenue. 2022, your total revenue was 53 million. 2024, your total revenue was 70 million. That's a 31% increase in revenue in 5 years. All right. Property tax revenue in that time frame went from 1,500 or 1.5 million to $2.5 million in 5 years. Property tax as a percent of revenue is remained relatively consistent, right? 3%, 3%, 2%, 3%, 4%. And that's important for my next point in a minute. Sales tax revenue in 2022 was 3.8 million. In 2024 was 5.8 million. That's 1.9 million increase over that 4-year period, right? Revenue's fine. We have lots of money coming in, all right? If you look at the increase in sales tax revenue, which was 1.9 million from that 4-year period, that is 77% of our property tax revenue, all right? Now, property tax is the worst tax out there, right? You buy a home, you buy a piece of property, it's yours, but it's not, because you're always renting it from the government because they always come asking for that property tax. Of all the taxes out there, I think property tax has to be the worst one, and it affects the most amount of people, right? Everybody, right? So Easton talked about having some vision. If in 2022, right, our property tax revenue was 2% of our total revenue, had we made it a concerted effort to cut our spending by 2%, we could have eliminated the Payson portion of the property tax. We wouldn't have that tax on every one of our people living in Payson hanging over our heads. It would be gone. And we would have weaned ourselves off of that tit, okay? It wouldn't be a problem. And do you know where that money would have went? It would have went to the stores. And property tax would have increased. You would have made it up over property tax. And the nice thing, you would have made the property tax loss up over your increase in sales tax revenue. And the nice thing about sales tax revenue, it comes and goes as the economy goes. And it forces the city to live within their means. And that is our problem. We don't have a revenue problem. We're here today to get more revenue. We don't have a revenue problem. We're trying to fix the wrong problem. The problem is spending. Now, I don't know why, right? I get it. Inflation's up, right? We have to make decisions, right? And I think that fire is one of the key principal purposes of city government, right? But if we're here asking for more money for fire, then that means we've neglected it. We should not be here asking for more money for fire. If it's one of the bare necessities of government, why have we neglected it? We've spent it somewhere else. And that is the problem. And that's what we need to look at. We do not need to raise 18% tax on property tax on their citizens. It's just not needed. Our revenue is doing fine. 31% growth over a 4-year period. Vote against this. It's not needed.
Thanks for your comment. Easton, you,
This is my last time. Easton Brady again. Mayor, it's going to be 2 minutes.
okay,
I forgot to bring up a big point. Big business, the pit. The pit is going to get developed. That is going to be money that we're going to get for future generations to fund these things because the pit is massive. It's at what, 150 square acres. That could be a Sam's Club, a Trader Joe's. What else? What are we thinking for dinner tonight? Point is, I'm young. I'm going to talk to people. The city's already talking to people. We're going to bring people in. And that's a campaign promise that this city council will do. Thank you, Easton Brady.
thank you, Easton.
Hello, I'm Sarah Ogden. I would just like to echo Chris's sentiments. I believe we should try to reduce property taxes wherever possible. I, of course, support and I'm very grateful for our police and firefighters. I think we need to find another way to fund that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, please come in front of the table, if you would. In front of the table, not behind it. You're fine. Just come in front. Just right over there. Just wanted you in front of the table as
I
you
don't
come
want you
up.
tripping over the cords and such behind him.
You're fine.
Officer, I didn't mean to scare
Some
everybody.
housekeeping things, that's okay.
I'm Doris Adams. I live at 1263 East, 640 South, Payson, Utah. I am old. I was born in this building. Now I know why all the fire people are here and supporting you. Thank you. Thank you. I had an office in the state office building when it burnt down. I've lost property that you guys protected. I think we're a little bit on the wrong side of history. If you're aware what's going on, Easton gave us a good view of what's going on in the country. It's time to cut back. It's time to reduce. It's time to think about the citizens. It's time to get away from large government. Yes, we need a new capable fire department and a fire building. And I know I've been in that building, not recently, but I've been in it when we've had little Cub Scout tours and it's crowded. I would like to know if we are considering other ways we can cut back, if we're having each department look at their budgets, say, where do we need to cut? What do we need to do differently? Robert's busy right now trying to annex more property into the city. That's more roads, that's more sewer, that's more places we need to protect. I also am a retired state employee and understand what it means to work for the public sector. We have reduced wages when we work for the public sector. I realize you're volunteer firemen. I realize that and thank you. But we need to consider our wages. I realize that might be later on in the agenda. But every one of your employees you're paying into URS for, and they're going to get a pension. And the private sector doesn't get a pension. They have to save for their retirement. I didn't have to save I worked and got paid less an hour, so my employer would put money in for me to have a retirement, a pension. And I got good benefits. So we need to make sure when we're looking at the wages that we're paying our employees, we're not comparing it to ourselves. If we worked in the private sector, may I realize you worked in the public sector and you're aware of this.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware if the other council members were. I also am aware, Mr. Tuckett, I know you're attorney and you do have a real nice annual salary. And as our city manager, I don't know how well you can represent the rest of us because you're not living with the same constraints that the rest of us have. And when we have managers of our different departments working and earning inflated earnings, it's harder for them to understand what it is as a citizen to meet our needs. I would like to see some discussion. Teresa, you've been here a long time. I don't know if you've had discussions about cutting back, what we need to do differently, what we can reduce, what we can do in our government to cut back, where we can look after our citizens. And those are a jumble of my thoughts. I'm sorry I didn't have them written down and they're not as organized, but I'm a little disappointed that there aren't more concerned of the citizens tonight. It was a blaring comparison in the paper to see the differences between what an increase in Santaquin would be and Payson would be, and Payson's already got high property taxes, high utilities, and hopefully those that are in charge are taking advice from our managers, but we're also representing the citizens and seeing what we can do to meet their needs. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, come on up. Next time, walk in front of the table, please.
Okay.
Housekeeping.
Scott Phillips,
Yep.
local business owner. I'm just concerned. I am in favor of the fire station 100%. I'm not in favor of the way we're funding it. I watched the thing on the news yesterday, and I know some of it's their own fault, but they said less than half of the people in America have $1,000 to fall back on. I think that's pretty sad. Now, some of it's mismanagement of money, but that isn't all of it. And yeah, if it was only $52 a year for the businesses, I'm all about it. But my taxes go up $2,000. But we just keep going up and up, and the county assessor just keeps valuing it up more and more. So we just keep paying. It's one earthquake away from a pile of rubble. But the county assessor says, well, you should be charging more rent. Well, you know what? Last time I checked, we're in America and I can charge what we want. I can charge less than what the others do. I try to do that for the trailer court people too, because I'm telling you, there's people on hard times, and you guys need to take a second look at what you're doing.
Thank you, Scott. Come on.
Got a relative that even works for this city, but the cities need to get out of this mentality of 3 to 6% raises every year. It don't work that way in the private sector.
Okay, thank you. Okay, not seeing anyone else wanting to come up and talk to us. Is there anybody online? Okay, I'll go ahead and accept the motion to close the public hearing.
Mayor, I motion that we close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, have a motion been seconded. Roll call vote, starting with Council Christensen.
Yes.
Council Hewlett, are you with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, your vote? to
Yes.
close the- Okay, Council Rowley,
Yes.
Council Moss?
Yes.
and Council Hyatt.
Yes.
Okay. We've heard from the public and we've heard from our financial director, Kathy. Council, have any discussion, what you've heard.
I'd like to chime in a little bit. Mr. Kilmer, you were talking about the difference between property taxes versus sales tax, which that makes perfect sense to me. It'd be a great way to do it. However, when you're bonding and looking for that money, they look at that property tax because it's something stable, something they can guarantee. And so when we borrow that $5 million to pay for it, the rate is way less expensive to buy it that way, which is a better use of our money if we do it off of sales tax. Now, granted, ideally, we would have loved to have saved more money and just been able to pay outright for it, which would be the ultimate. But it seems to be chasing a never-ending inflation run. If you know what I'm trying to say, that we're not getting ahead of it. And
You've had your turn.
so,
I know, but that's just rhetorical. He's talking about it. The public hearing is over. We're addressing
so,
the information.
and that is the challenge, is that we're trying to get that cheaper bond rate by doing it through the property taxes rather than through sales tax. But it would be better to save, but it's hard. The price of things go up faster than we can save for it. So.
Council, anybody else?
Yeah, I want to thank all the residents who came out and shared such good data and support and numbers. And I also want to thank all of our fire department members that are here tonight as well. We do not take these decisions lightly. That's why we live here in Payson as well. And these decisions impact us as well. There was some data brought up that there was a 31% increase in sales tax revenue for Payson City since 2020, but households have also gone up 30% since 2020 as well. The current state, Payson City, does not have the commercial sales tax base to float a new fire station. And I feel we cannot kick this can down the road any longer. I want to point out as well that the Payson City budget is $19 million less this year than it was last year. We are striving to tighten our belts, but as a government, we have to provide certain services for our residents, and one of those services is fire protection. And I think this is a necessity to plan for the future. The longer we wait, the more expensive it will be. We need to provide a launching pad for full-time fire services in the future in Payson. I don't know when that will be, but we need to have a station that will facilitate that. We also have plans that once we build a new station, we can sell the ambulance station that's down by Ron Gordon's. And we are making plans. We're not trying to frivolously spend this. I feel this is not a want. This is not a rec center. This is not a new swimming pool. This is not a new golf course. This is a new public safety building. And it hurts. I agree. Property taxes are one of the worst things in the world because, like was said, we never own our own property. I wish that at the higher up levels, we could do something different. But as I've looked at the data, as I've scrutinized the numbers, this small sacrifice in property tax increase is directly going to the fire department and would support it. And so therefore I feel strongly that this is a painful but good move. And it's something I don't take lightly, but I truly love and appreciate public service. I love our fire department. They have gone above and beyond to pinch pennies, to reuse equipment, to make their own brush trucks, to repair old broken down fire trucks to get by. Payson City, look at our city hall. We're not trying to keep up with the Joneses here. We're building something that needs to be built. And my hopes are that we could, with a new fire station, provide higher level service for the residents, give something for the fire department to be proud of and take care of, but also hopefully help attract some of these new businesses and developers to help with impact fees and sales tax so we can offset this in the future. And I look forward to the day, and I hope I'm here when we can lower property tax. But with the current lack of building in Payson, the current lack of sales tax in Payson, this is the way that I see to fund it. And I am in support of it from the data that I have.
Council, anybody else?
I echo what Council Rowley said. I'm thankful for everyone that came out to voice their concerns and their opinions, their viewpoints. I too am in favor of getting this fire station because we have needed it for a long, long time. Our city has been in the habit of kicking things down the road, and past city councils have neglected to prepare us for times like these. So we are playing catch up now. Cities have a responsibility to provide public safety. There go our firefighters that we're so grateful for, and we're fighting for you guys. A city government has a responsibility to provide public safety, water, sewage, roads. Everything else is just extra bonus amenities. So property taxes should be going to the fire department. We should not be taking away from the fire department or the police department. That's never a good thing. You saw on the pie chart that Kathy presented how much of your property taxes are going towards the school district, and not everybody uses the schools. Do you go to the school board meetings and demand your voice to be heard there? Because a lot more of your property taxes are going there, and you don't see any of it. We get a measly amount, and we're trying to do our best with what we are getting. Yes, we are looking at other ways to reduce spending on other things. It's a work in progress. We're studying things, we're doing the math, we're trying. You may not see it right away, but we are working on that. But our firefighters deserve better than a building that was built in the 1950s. Technology has changed. We need our town is growing, response times will suffer. And that'll be devastating. So we've got plans. We need to look at some of our city assets and maybe sell them off. Especially the ones that are just sitting there and not making us any money. We need to sell it off. But this is something that's top priority, and I ran on this. I ran on supporting our firefighters and our police department and getting them a new fire station that can support full-time firefighters when we get to that point, because right now there's no place for any firefighter to stay in there. And it's basically just a cinder block building. And so this will allow us to help them do their job to the best of their ability and even better. So please believe us when we say that we are trying our hardest to cut things in other ways. And you'll see in other things, we'll have discussions on other things on the agenda tonight. We'll have discussions about trying to figure those things out. But this isn't where we need to cut it. And so I'll be voting for it.
Any other comments?
I just agree with them.
I have a couple things, Mayor.
Okay, go ahead.
So there are some benefits to the citizens by doing this fire station. One is it helps keep the insurance rates down for houses. The other is this is a direct benefit to anybody that owns a house for their safety. Also, the city has saved half the money to build this. And so we aren't asking for bonding for the whole thing. We've been planning and saving for this. The last thing with property taxes and sales taxes. The property taxes that are paid go directly to the part the city gets taken out, the school district and all that goes to the city. Where if you eliminate those property taxes and you thought you could make it up in sales taxes, a lot of our shopping is outside of the city and those sales tax go to some other city. So this is just a stable way to, another thing that helps the residents too, is this keeps our bond rate down. So we make up a lot of this cost in savings in our bond rate. If you go 0.5% on a bond rate for all of the like the sewer plant and things like that, that easily makes up for the amount of money that the property tax increases. And thank you, everybody, for coming out and expressing your opinions, and we appreciate that.
Okay, I believe we've heard from each of the council members, so I'm ready for a motion.
Mayor, I motion that we approve the truth in taxation and certified tax rate as discussed.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and seconded, the roll call vote starting with Council Hyatt,
Yes.
Council Moss,
Yes.
Council Rowley,
Yes.
Council Hewlett,
Yes.
Council Christensen.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to number 2, a public hearing enterprise fund transfers. Kathy?
Okay. So for the budget presentation, I'm going to go through the entire budget, and Melanie and I are going to kind of tag team. She's going to cover the compensation portion, and then you can go ahead and break out your public hearings, and we can answer any questions that you have. Okay, so we want to cover some of the changes to the budget since we adopted the tentative budget. First, we added the fire station design for 400,000 in the capital fund. We increased the property tax revenue to reflect potential property tax increase for the fire station. We rolled over B&C projects of 109,000 in repair and maintenance, and we rolled over a B&C project for $800,000. On a lot of the adjustments, especially in the enterprise funds, we tried to balance them by taking away some of the projects, and this is one of them. We took away some projects out of the miscellaneous projects. We rolled over 281,300 for 300 South Storm Drain project, and we reduced the transfer to the general fund to help fund these projects. We also temporarily removed the storm drain master plan expense. We added $33,000 to storm drain for a storm drain rate study. We rolled over the box culvert storm drain project for $990,000, and this is grant funded. There were payroll adjustments to change the cost of living increase and to move the merit increase to October and to balance out the payroll budget. We added debt service for the initial payment for the fire station. We adjusted the Scottish Festival budget. We increased the expenditures to match what they actually brought in revenue, so it balanced out. We adjusted the library budget for the balance of the feasibility study. For $9,000, it was total of $11,000, and adjusted the library budget for repair and maintenance. We updated the revolving loan amortizations with actual amounts. $80,000 was added for a sewer dump body from, we approved the actual vehicle in a budget adjustment from 6/18/25, so this is just adding the dump body on it. We adjusted the golf electric carts revolving loan fund to be 3 years instead of 5. And this is the first time in the revolving loan funds, we've moved all the loans to be 3 years instead of 5 years, so that as we rotate vehicles, they're not paying for old vehicles, that those are all paid off by the time they're rotated out. We added a full-time parts position. We adjusted engineering subscription budget to cover the increased cost of software. We adjusted the victim advocate budget downward $11,000. Their grant was not quite as high as we had anticipated. We added the NEBOS belt rate betterment design for $90,000, a portion out of sewer and a portion out of water. We rolled over the PI bond project of $600,000 and the water SCADA system. We reduced miscellaneous professional services to cover a portion of the water project changes. We added the police fingerprint machine for $7,500. We added the economic development study of $115,000 for a sports complex. We rolled over one golf water filter and added one additional one of $20,000. They're having trouble keeping those filters clean up there. We added revenue of $25,000 and an offsetting expenditure for the Onion Days. This revenue is coming from the hospital, who would like us to start taking over the program, so they'll help contribute to that. We added $10,000 for the Grand Fondo bicycle event. We updated workers' compensation allocated through the budget. This is just a reallocation. It didn't increase the expense at all. We rolled over funds for the Justice Court safety equipment. We rolled over funds for a fire trailer of 25,000. We added wage adjustments up to 5.5 to individual wages and 2.5 for, so this, I'm in budget highlights, I apologize. We added wage adjustments up to 5.5% to individual wages and 2.5 for COLA. We increased some of the part-time wages. This is just an overview of the retirement systems. I think that was brought up earlier. We are obligated to pay into the Utah retirement system. I think Melanie might cover that a little bit more. This is the overall budget. So you can see this is a $124 million budget if we add in all the departments. You can kind of see it's balanced as per state code. Start going through the water fund. These are the enterprise funds now. The 4-bay bond payment is going to be transferred from the general fund, and the reason we do that is initially, I think it was to protect a watershed, but it's become more of a recreation area. So we feel it's more appropriate for the general fund to pay for that. The water department continues to replace meters, valves, and repair hydrants using the 2019 water bond proceeds. The water department is charged with federal lead and copper lateral replacements, and the city is seeking options through WIFIA to help with the Nebo Beltway project. Water rate studies are included in the budget. If you look at this graph here, the ones at the top of the graph are the ones that we did approve. The ones in black are the ones that we did not approve. This update of the culinary and PI master plan for $50,000 is the one that caused us problems today when I send out an adjustment. Initially, we had thought we balanced the water fund, and as I got looking at it, I thought, no, I'm not quite comfortable expending that much. So Cameron, Travis, Robert, Dave, and I met, and we decided that we could move that $50,000 so we can continue to do projects. And I forgot to update it, and that was my fault. I apologize. Okay, here's the overall water fund. It's a $9.6 million budget. And the offsetting expenditures for that, and impact fees for $467,000. On the solid waste budget, a sweeper was requested by the landfill to feel necessary to keep the new scale house clean because it has very sensitive equipment and the dust blows in quite a bit. A great deal of the budget expenses of the landfill pertains to maintenance and improvements of the landfill itself. In addition to the landfill, just want you to remember that solid waste department handles garbage collection and city snow plowing, so they're always working. They're very busy. These are the funded items for the landfill. And the landfill budget is $4.5 million. And the electric power. Sorry, it's going slower than I am. Some highlights: large capital projects are scheduled. The transmission line through the we're paying through impact fees, SUVPS participation in bonding and true up, power plant construction and lighting projects. 2026 is the second of a 4-year rate increase plan, and the new electric payments, when you look at the audit, you'll see them in operational costs. So UAMPS will own the plant until it's paid off, and we'll pay through operational costs. These are the funded and the requested items for the electric plant. And here's their budget. It's a $22 million budget. And impact fees of 2.6, almost $2.7 million. For the sewer plant, some of the highlights: the sewer department continues with the construction of the sewer plant. The city has included a sewer rate study. We're working on WIFIA funding as an option to refund the current sewer bonds and extend the length of the bonds. One of the improvements necessary in the sewer budget is a lift station. on the pit property, and I think that was brought up recently also. This was required to attract commercial to this area. A good portion of that is funded out of the impact fees from the sewer. The sewer department is in a unique position because approximately 56% of the operational revenue right now goes to debt service. So here is the requested and funded items for the sewer department. And I think in next year's budget, we're going to have to address the video truck and the jet truck. They viewed that as top priority for them so that they can continue operations. Here's the sewer revenue is $27 million and offset with the expenditures. Impact fees of $1.7 million. The ambulance department. The ambulance fund is comprised mainly of operational expenses. The services the ambulance crew is able to provide is almost at capacity, what they can provide with available personnel. The city is looking at future equipment employees in order to more fully meet the needs of the city. We have funded a full-time position in the ambulance department. We've eliminated the transfer from the ambulance fund to the general fund in order to finance that position. The ambulance was ordered last year and should be received in the next couple of years. This was financed through the revolving loan fund. A fire and ambulance impact fee study is being updated. So here's what was requested and what was funded. And the ambulance has a $1.5 million budget. The golf fund. The golf course is exploring options for a 9-hole golf course. The RV park is reserved out early in the year and has become quite an asset to the city. This is what the golf fund has requested and been funded for. The golf fund is a $2.5 million budget. The storm drain. The primary purpose of the storm drain fund is to help EPA regulations and stormwater illicit discharge detection and elimination. The city has striven to allocate $300,000 per year for curb and gutter projects. This year, those funds will be allocated between two primary projects, 600 South and some for miscellaneous projects. The box culvert grant, $990,000 is expected to still be in construction. If it is completed in fiscal year 25, those years will drop to fund reserves. And this is the projects that we've allocated to the storm drain. And it's a $3 million budget. Internal service funds. Now, these are the funds that provide services for other departments. They are funded by charges to the individual departments that goes back to fund these services. We have two, the vehicle maintenance and the IT program. You can see the vehicle maintenance is a $667,000 fund and the IT $771,000. And these are the equipment that was funded through the budget. The revolving loan fund. Now this fund is funded by charges on vehicles to each department that gets a new vehicle. This year, the fund is $1.3 million. And these are the vehicles that we'd like to roll over. In the past, we've done pretty well because the resale cost of vehicles has exceeded the cost and we've made a little bit of money. Now we're not making quite as much because the resale value isn't quite as good. The park tax fund, you can see the projects here that are allocated by the park tax committee, and it's $385,000 fund. Special revenue funds. We have the park tax fund. I guess that's a repeat, sorry. I don't know how to do it. The capital fund is $9.2 million of the improvements of $9 million. The downtown project is 3.2 and the fire station, I believe, is 5.4 to add in the design. The perpetual care fund reserves funds for future care of the cemetery and the general fund. So sales tax increased about 2.5 last year. We're expecting another small increase this year. Building permits revenue reflects an uptick due to Red Bridge pulling permits. And if you look at the graph that's in the budget document itself, and I think it's online also, you'll see a significant increase in building permits because building permits have been pulled but not yet began. The budget reflects various planning studies. The police department is reporting increased cost of animal shelter fees. In addition to wage increases, the city budgeted some police position increases in order to attract and retain police officers to stay competitive. The general fund is comprised of the oops, whoa, that went fast, sorry. That just skipped. Go the other way. Okay, there we go. These are all the small funds that comprise the general fund. So if you look at the audit, the general fund, all these little funds have rolled into the general fund. The requested and funded, I'm not going to go through everything. I'll just kind of go through the general areas: B and C, building maintenance, cemetery, engineering, the parks department, the fire department, the police department, grounds, and the ARPA fund. We have recreation and the petite neat, streets, the pool, and the senior center. And the general fund with all the added little funds is a $33 million budget. This year we've estimated the use of fund reserves of $3.2 million. That's down from last year. And you'll see that it's offset and balanced. The impact fees for the park are $765,000. The public safety, $184,000. So transfers and indirect services. So indirect services is those charges that we charge the departments to cover cost of services that the departments would otherwise have to go outside the city to provide. And that's transferred back to the internal services and the general fund. So it could be like accounting, attorney services, council time, things like that that are charged. Interfund transfers are non-reciprocal transfers from the enterprise funds to either the general fund, or in this case, like general fund to the power fund and general fund to the water fund. Traditionally, we've transferred 9% from the enterprise funds. We're trying to reduce that. In several of the funds, it's down to 5%, and we'd like to fully reduce that transfer. The redevelopment agencies, we have two. We have the redevelopment town, which covers the Walgreens Economic Development Agreement, and that ends October of 2028. We have the redevelopment business park, and that's the makerspace over in the MTech building. And here's those funds, and that's the budget. I'll turn the time over to Melanie now.
Okay, council, we've heard Kathy's presentation. I would like a motion to open a public hearing.
Melanie will present the compensation
Oh,
portion
what's that?
first.
Melanie's going to say a few words.
Oh, okay, Melanie.
Okay. We're just going to briefly go through the compensation for executive municipal officers. And as this is the same requirement that we had last year. It's not going, oh, it's not sharing. Oh, right there. There we go. So as I indicated last year, Senate Bill 91 was approved, and it's a new requirement that anytime that we do propose an increase for executive officers, a public hearing is required. So I'm going to just briefly cover the law and some of the definitions, and then I'll go into the proposal, and I'll be brief. So again, it's a statutory requirement to hold a separate public hearing to receive comment on the compensation increases.
Melanie, can I interrupt you for a second? Can you get a little closer to the mic? It's hard
Sure.
to hear you.
Is that better? Okay.
That's a lot better. Thank you.
You're welcome. To receive comment on the compensation increases for executive municipal officers. Again, SB 91 was implemented, and I just provided a copy. Of course, you can't, but that's the new statute that was implemented last year. I want to just go through some of the definitions. Compensation means a salary, a budgeted bonus, or budgeted incentive pay, a vehicle allowance, and deferred salary. So again, compensation increase means an increase in any of the items mentioned in the compensation definition. I want to, executive municipal officer, just want to go through the definition for that. Executive municipal officer means the chief administrative officer, the assistant, the city attorney, an individual who is the head or chief of any city department or division, or an individual who is the chief assistant or deputy or division head. So the proposed increases for executive municipal officers for the various positions based on the definition in SB 91, as we've been discussing for basically all city employees. It's just that we're required to hold the public hearing, but the proposed increases are 2.5%. You can see for the positions listed, and a proposed merit increase, 3%, which the total proposed increase is up to the 5.5%. Again, because of the merit, that doesn't mean that every position would get the 5.5% increase. But again, we need to hold a hearing in case, you know, those, if those were implemented in the merit. And that's all I have. Do you have any questions?
Okay. Are we just gonna continue, or are we gonna take each individual one as we go? Just continue what we're gonna do
You have to open a public hearing
Okay.
for each of those items.
for each, so we'll go ahead and do the public hearing for the enterprise transfer funds, right?
And then Mayor, I would recommend that you open the public hearing, close the public hearing, take the vote on that item, and then go to.
And then
the
move to this
public
next one
hearing.
that we just talked about. Okay. Just so it's some clarity, this is the open, propose that we open a public hearing for the enterprise transfer fund. So turn to the council for a motion.
Mayor, I motion that we open the public hearing for the enterprise and the enterprise fund transfers.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion been seconded. Roll call vote starting with Council Christensen,
Yes.
Council Rowley,
Yes.
Council Moss.
Yes.
Council Hyatt. Okay. Oh, Council, sorry, I don't see you here. Council Hughes.
Yes.
Thank you, Council, sorry. Okay, we'll go ahead and open a public hearing. Same instructions as the previous public hearing. Please step to the mic and state your name and where you're from. And please be cognizant of your time. We won't cut you off, but please be aware of that. Again, whether you agree or disagree with the comments we've heard from our financial director.
And Mayor, just for the clarification of the public,
Okay?
this is just for the enterprise.
Yes,
fund transfer.
just for the enterprise. Exactly. Okay, not seeing anyone that's getting ready to walk up or walking. Is there anybody online? Okay. I'll accept the motion from the council to close the public hearing.
Motion that we close the public hearing for the enterprise fund transfers.
Second. She'll second.
Okay, Council,
I gave it
second
to
from
her.
Council Hyatt. Okay, we have a motion and it's been seconded to close the public hearing. Roll call vote, starting with Council Hyatt. Yes. Council Moss,
Yes.
Council Rowley,
Yes.
Council Hewlett,
Yes.
and Council Christensen.
Yes.
Okay, we've had the public hearing. It's been closed. Council, do you have any discussion? If there's no discussion from what
I have something.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Looking over all those budgets and all the things that were requested, with all of the things that we're asking our citizens to pay for, I think this year, next year, and maybe the next year, we need our department heads to kind of rein things in, maybe dial things back a little bit. I know we've needed a lot of things as a city, but I think there are some things that aren't life-threatening, so to speak. if we don't have them. So I'm requesting that our wonderful department heads please dial back, maybe reduce your requests and the money that you need. I'm just going to throw a number out there by 5%. We need it. We need to just tighten our belts a little bit because of all the expenses that we're asking our residents to hold on to or be responsible for. So that's all I've got.
Okay, and I think what we're asking for at this point in time, that's, we need to address what's been presented to us, and so that's what, that we'll be voting on.
Right, but then we were looking at stuff and I'm like,
Okay,
I just needed to say that after
okay, appreciate
all of that stuff.
appreciate your comments.
Yep.
Okay, if there's no other comments or questions, I'm ready for a motion.
Mayor, I motion that we approve the enterprise fund transfers as presented to us.
Okay, that he was correct in his motion, right? Good. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
There should be though, shouldn't there?
Yeah, that's what it shows on my.
Go ahead.
So we're just supposed to have a discussion.
Well, we'd have to approve transfers though, wouldn't we? That's one of the roles of, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. But it's already been voted on, basically, is what you're telling me.
Going to be in section
Going to
4.
be in section 4 again.
Okay. So do we need to proceed with what I just opened or no?
Councilman Rowley made a motion, I think it was second.
It was.
Okay. Okay. We'll go ahead and roll call vote, starting with Council Christensen.
Yes.
Council Rowley.
Yes, and don't forget Brian.
I won't. Council Hewlett, sorry.
Yes.
Council Moss.
Yes.
Council Hyatt.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries.
Who was the second?
Brian.
Thank you.
That's right. Yeah, it was. Okay, then we'll go ahead to the information we've already been discussed, the executive municipal officers compensation presented to us by Melanie. Do a motion? Okay, I will act for a motion for a public hearing on that item.
Mayor, I motion that we open to a public hearing on the executive municipal officers compensation topic.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion been seconded to open a public hearing. Roll call vote starting with Council Hyatt.
Yes.
Council Moss.
Yes.
Council Rowley.
Yes.
Council Hewlett.
Yes.
Council Christensen.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open as before. Same request to apply. Please step to the pulpit and tell us your name and where you're from, and be cognizant of your time, whether you agree or disagree with the previous information that we've received from Melanie Morris. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, government employees. So I worked in
I
the.
know you've done it before, but identify
I will.
yourself again.
Oh, my apologies. Third time, my apologies. Easton Brady. All right. Longevity of employees. So I've worked in the private for, I mean, if you include when I was 14, 12 years in the private and 3 years in the public, and they're not the same. And until you get into the government, until you truly understand city government, and I'm not talking federal, I'm not talking, Burgess Owens or Mike Lee, I'm talking your local government. It's not the same from the federal. And a lot of reasons why we have the problems we have today is because of our federal government, especially from 2020 to 2024. Someone was asleep at the wheel. So now that we have someone actually doing some stuff, we're seeing the change already. So we need longevity of employees. My point of all that is the private is not the same as the public. The private wants to make money. The public is meant to stabilize the government, to give us water, to make sure that we have, the basic needs of the Constitution, right? They're not, sorry, like that's the government. Well, the government also employs, the state of Utah employs 25,000 people. It's the biggest employer in Utah. So do we invest in those people or do we not? Now, I'm not saying we do California where you give them, a 5-hour lunch and a free Coke every day on taxpayer dollars. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we need to invest in good government workers. I would say I'm a pretty good government worker, but I'm so sick and tired of people, lazy government workers. I ref since I was 14, so half my life. And everyone wants to say, oh, there's so many crappy refs out there. Well, someone that's young and aspiring to do something with the goals and all these old people, when all you keep hearing is refs suck and you think you're pretty good, you're trying to do something. What is that going to say to the next generation? Well, then why should there ever be good refs? Why should there be good politicians? Why should there be good people in government? If the critics, the 10%, the people that are up in the stands always want to crap on everyone else, I'm sick of it. There's ways, guys, don't get me wrong, there's bad refs. It's screwed up. I mean, the Chiefs just get everything given to them. So yeah, I hate when my team plays the Chiefs. I get mad at the refs, but they're people. They don't make they make mistakes. Okay. I mean, yeah, they're being paid. It's a little bit different. No, I'm just joking. Okay. I'm excited for football if you haven't noticed. So we need longevity of employees. Okay. Benefits. See, when I work for the government, I work for the private. I went from job to job to job to job. Money, 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 money. Okay. Because the point is you're supposed to make money in the private. The owner wants to make money. I want to make money. The government, Trump is donating his salary. You get what I'm trying to say? There's no one at the very top making millions of dollars. Well, there was, and now we have Doge again, like I said that. And that's why we need city government. That's why it starts local. We need to make sure we have transparency. We're making sure we're doing everything smart. But the point is, we need smart people in government. And if you continually critics crap on the government, you're going to get crappy results. So I'm going to be 29 this year, and I'm happy to clean up the messes of the older generations. And I'm so sick and tired of people complaining. Okay.
Mr. Brady,
Sorry.
could we get standpoint of
Yes,
exactly what you
my
said?
apologies.
I just want to make sure this doesn't turn into a campaign stump for you.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that we invest in our government employees. That's the most important thing. Okay. And just to close this up, a 5.5%, the state got a 3.5%, and they're going to get a 5.5%. We have to invest in our cities. We have to invest in our government if we're going to have longevity. If we want to have a good government, we want to have employees to stay for 30 or 35 years. I'm on a tier 2 retirement. I got to go 35 years before I retire. I do okay with my job, but I see a 2 to 5% raise every year. Now, I could go in the private and go get a 20% raise. Yeah, I could get laid off tomorrow, or I go get a 30% raise, but that's the risk I took. That's what a business owner took when they opened that business. And I'm all for risk taking. I'm a pro-capitalistic. I'm all for, the free enterprise, but government needs to be funded. We need smart people in government, and we need to fund them. I'm not saying 10% every year, but 3 to 5 so they have something to do, something to look forward to, because rising costs happen all the time. And that's all I'm going to say. And also, sorry if I get a little campaigny. We were one of the only cities that did not have a campaign event for our candidates. So that is unfortunate. So even though these are very big issues that I really do believe in, I do wish the city would have done something about that. But anyway, thank you so much.
Are we not doing a meet the candidate night?
Well,
We were the only ones not to have one for the primary.
okay, but that's a separate issue. That's fine.
Mayor,
Yes.
Payson does not hold one before the primary. It's up to those candidates to get their information and themselves out. We hold it just a couple of weeks before the general election.
Thank you, Kim.
And that's an ancillary thing. That wasn't
Thank you.
part of this discussion. So, okay, come on up.
Chris Kilmer, quick question, couple questions. The 5.5% raise, right? That's what we're talking about across the board, given merit. Some employees may not merit the full 5%. Does the city have pay tiers for each position with minimum, medium, and max?
Melanie, you want to address that?
So did you say pay raises? Ranges, thank you. Does the 5.5% increase that range? Okay, so you'll increase the range by 2.5%, right? Okay, thank you. I don't know if this is, I don't know what they get paid, right? I haven't done the study. I haven't evaluated it. I believe we should invest employees where we can, right? But you guys just asked for an 18% increase from us, the citizens, right? So now you're gonna spend another 5.5%. I don't know if it's right or wrong, right? But you can't do both. You can't go on in this continual process, right? A lot of people have bought into this idea that you can just keep take. You can't, right? Somewhere, something has to give, right? And I think give them the 5.5% if they deserve it. You guys did the market study and they need that extra 2.5% just to keep them here with the city. Great, right? But you have to take everything in mind. You can't raise spending for employees and then come back to the citizens and ask for more taxes, right? I mean, you're doing it literally in the same night, right? The optics alone are just horrible, right? Let alone the message that you sent. So I don't have an opinion on this. Go ahead and pass it. If they deserve it, they deserve it. Great. Let's have good employees and let's hold them accountable and let's get everything we can out of those guys, right? Because that's your guys' responsibility, right?
And we have
Well,
very good employees.
Well, you just came and got for another 18% increase on my taxes. So from my perspective, something's missing. I don't know what it is, right? That's the message I'm trying to send. So thank you.
Thank you. Not seeing anyone that's coming up to the pulpit. Is there anybody online? Okay, council, I would accept a motion to close the public hearing on this item.
So moved that we close the public hearing on the executive municipal officer's compensation.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion been seconded. Roll call vote starting with Council Christensen.
Yes.
Council Hewlett. Council Hewlett, you with us?
You're talking to me, I can't hear. I got a vacuum going in the background.
Okay,
But yes, I favor closing public hearing.
yes. What's your vote? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, Council Rowley,
Yes.
Council Moss,
Yes.
Council Hyatt.
Yes.
Okay, we've closed that public hearing. Any further discussion on this item by the council?
I just, in some of the previous meetings, the proposed pay increase was actually 3% cost of living and 3%. And as a council, we negotiated back and forth on that and brought that down to 2.5%. I know it's a 0.5 percentage point, doesn't seem like a lot, but we felt like we're trying to edge back down that just as far as we possibly could. And I am excited to see that the majority of their pay raise comes from merit. So those that are doing a good job can receive that benefit, and those that we feel are not can look at that as an incentive, something to drive them to do a little bit better. So.
Any further comments?
Yeah, with the gentleman brings up optics that we do in the same meeting. Absolutely. The optics are transparency. Our city does not try to string this out throughout the year and hide things. We are spending a lot of money. There's no two ways about it. We don't take lightly that sales tax increase is going to go directly to the fire department, not into the pockets of our employees. I do want to reward our employees. Payson City needs to attract the top-notch, best kind of people. And I know we've got a lot of those kinds of people here, and I want to keep them there. I do want to go back. I still wonder, looking at the 5.5, if with current constraints on budget and also with sales tax, I still feel like that's a little bit too much. My original idea was do 2% and 3% merit. And that's what I would like to see happen tonight. And I'd be curious to hear other councils' opinions on that. Property tax. I'm so sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Yes, property tax.
It would be my belief here at this point in time, we can address the issue of that's before us, and then if that fails, then we can modify what we need to modify. Am I right? Or can we modify it in transit? Okay, okay.
If we,
We'll,
if we vote to approve it at the 5.5 and then it fails, can we apply a motion or do we have to run it through a different meeting? We can just do another motion.
Well, it could be motioned on the budget as well, correct?
Right, because you're only talking about executive office.
Right, not across the whole board,
Okay.
right? Okay.
and any other comments?
Yeah, I feel that the 2% cost of living is very fair, and I also want to say something to Melanie and to Dave. I know that some of these superintendents really, I know they've came in and fought for some of their people. I've talked to some of these people who they have these exceptional employees, and I can see, I've gone through and looked at what they're getting paid, and I think they need to be able to, it's not a whole bunch, it's maybe 3 or 4. But I think you need to get them up there because those are the ones that you want to keep. Those are the ones that are going to leave if you don't get them up to higher than where they are right now. And had I not talked to several different superintendents, I would not know this, but I know that they fought for it and they get shot down because it's like, okay, well, you have to wait till we see what the raises are. Merit raises are great, but I think some of these employees are exceptional, and I think you need to get them up higher, closer to where some of the other employees that they work with are, and not fight them on it, because I don't think those superintendents or even the higher guys are going to come and ask you for that if they don't feel that those employees deserve that. That's just coming from me talking to several of the different people who would like more increase for some of their people. We can't keep knocking that down because you do have some really exceptional ones that I've looked at their pay and they're not where they really should be. But I also believe that the cost of living, the 2%, that's still quite a bit for, like, I went through and did the numbers, and I know it's all of you guys's, increases. It's quite a bit. I'm not saying you don't deserve it, but I just feel like 2% is probably more fair
Okay,
right now, just because of our budget. I just feel like we really need to tighten up, and
Okay.
your merit base is, if you do a good job, we know if you do a good job, we feel you do a good job. So
And
That's
and we
where-
trust the department heads to make
We
those
do.
those decisions on
Yeah.
merit, and we want to reward those good behaviors and those good employees. And we do not want to send the wrong message that we don't value the Payson City employees, because we do. More than anything else, we spend more on payroll than anything else, and we want to keep it that way. And so we just hope you guys know that we do value you.
I've thought a lot about this, and in my understanding, cost of living raises the same for everybody. And so giving a 2% cost of living raise to somebody that makes a lower amount and 2% to somebody that makes a higher amount, the higher amount will always be more. And I'm wondering if we can do a cost of living that's even for everybody, and then we rely on the merit based more. I don't know if we can do that now or if that makes any sense,
I
but
think that's the premise of
in the future, I'm all for lowering the cost of living raise to 2%. But in the future, I think we need to maybe calculate it out where everyone gets the same cost of living raise across the board. And then we rely more on merit.
Okay,
I think it would save us some money too.
I think it's Brian, did you have anything you wanted to add, or are we okay?
Yeah, I have a couple of things. One is we're investing in the employees. That's what makes our city, is how good employees that we have. And so this is, to me, is one of our best investments we make. One thing, we would look at some of the higher paid, the exempt employees. Like, I'll give you an example. We got Sean in here, and he's been great for the city. He's worth every dollar we pay
Brian,
him.
I understand, but let's not identify individual employees right at this time.
Okay, I'll just make an example. So
I understand. I don't know what you're saying.
anyway, so the employees that we hire, we're trying to get the best out there. And if we don't, if we say that we're not going to give as much cost of living or merit pay or anything like that, people that come apply for jobs look at things like that and they'll say, well, here's Payson. They don't value their employees as much. So I'm just saying that we really need to show that we value our employees so we can get the best employees out there. And so I'm fine with the 2.5% and the 3%. Again, it's not, everybody's not going to get a 5.5% raise. That might be very few that even get that, because if the merit is working, that should be from some getting 0 to some getting 3%. So I'm in favor of the what we've worked on in the half, the 2.5% and the 3%.
Thank you, Ron.
I have one more thing. I just
Okay,
want to
please.
clarify how much I value our employees a lot. I'm just trying to make it even across the board in one aspect. I agree. We need to get the best of the best, and I think we do have the best of the best. But we also need to be financially responsible. That's all.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do we deferring to well, that's why whether we vote on the one that's before us, and if it fails, then we amend it, or how do we proceed?
Well, this would only
This
amend
is
the
an ordinance,
executive,
right?
so
yes.
we'll need to vote on the budget,
Yep.
correct?
Okay,
We need to vote, right, if you're gonna make changes
we're gonna
on the,
amend anything,
Okay.
this
yeah.
ordinance, there's an ordinance that, by law, we need to approve. So whatever changes, just make note of that.
okay,
So this is for the executive. So whatever you put in your motion, whether it's 2% or 5% or whatever that is, just make sure it's clear. And
Okay.
then for the executive team, you'll do it here. And then in the regular fiscal year budget,
Yeah.
make sure that that's included in that motion.
okay. You know, I want to make it clear too, I didn't do this in the truth of taxation. I'm fully supportive of the truth of taxation, and I'm fully supportive of our employees. Want to attract the best of the best and be fair with our employees, whether they be the day-to-day employees or our staff, the executive staff. So just want to make that clear. Okay, I'm open for a motion, however the council would like to make that motion.
Do you want to try the original way, or do you want to run a motion with your lesser amounts?
I'd like to make a motion the original way, and it might not pass, but I'd make a motion that we do the 2.5 and 3 for the executive and for the budget.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion been seconded. We'll go ahead and do a roll call vote on the motion and the second, starting with Council Christensen,
Yes.
Council Rowley,
No,
okay, Council Moss,
No.
Council Hyatt,
No.
and Council Hewlett.
Yes.
Okay, the motion fails. Is there a second motion to be presented?
I motion. I want to go back and forth. I want to make the same application to both the executive municipal officers and all of the employees, and we'll clarify that in the next budget. But I motion that we approve executive municipal officers' compensation for a 2% COLA and a 3% merit. Up to, obviously.
I'll
yep.
second.
Okay, we have a motion been seconded. We'll start with roll call vote, starting with Council Hyatt,
Yes.
Council Moss,
Yes.
Council Rowley,
Yes.
Council Christensen,
No.
Council Hewlett.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 4-1. Okay, moving on to number 4. Public hearing / ordinance fiscal year 2025-2026 budget. Are you back up, Kathy, or we've already listened to that? If there's a modification for that cost of living, then this is where we need to make that in that motion, right? Okay.
We need to, do we? open
But we'll go
public
ahead and do
hearing?
a public hearing for that item as well. Okay. I'll accept a motion for the public hearing on this item.
A motion that we open a public hearing for the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion been seconded. Forgot which way I went, but roll call vote, Council Christensen,
Yes.
Council Rowley,
Yes.
Council Moss,
Yes.
and I won't forget you, Council Hewlett,
Yes.
Council Hyatt. Got out of turn. Okay, the motion carries. We'll go ahead and open a public hearing. Same instructions as before. Please step to the mic, be cognizant of your time, identify yourself and let us know where you're from. And again, mainly whether you agree or disagree with the information that we've been privy to. So I'll go ahead and open that public hearing. Not seeing anyone that's approaching the pulpit, I'll ask if we have anybody online. We don't, so I'll accept the motion to close the public hearing.
I move that we close the public hearing. I'll second.
Okay? Have a motion been seconded to close the public hearing. Roll call vote starting with Council Hyatt,
Yes.
Council Moss.
Yes.
Council Rowley,
Yes.
Council Hewlett,
Yes.
and Council Christensen. Okay. The motion carries and the public hearing is closed. Any discussion on this item?
So this is where we
Yes.
clarify.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have a motion
We amend.
clarifying?
Mayor, just a comment.
Okay.
We didn't bring it up on the executives, but in our work sessions, we talked about the pay ranges, things like that. For public safety, for some of the police officers, we've had an accelerated, try to keep up with the state. So if your motion is to get it 2% for everybody, do you want us to keep working on that accelerated for the police officers to make sure that we keep competitive with what's going on around the state?
I do.
I
I
think
do too.
so.
So that you probably need to be part of your motion.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
good. Go ahead and make the motion.
And the other thing, as you make your motion, if you make as part of your motion to allow Kathy and staff to amend that budget based on what you're saying, we'll lower the amount for the wages and things like that.
Mayor, I motion that we approve the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget with the changes that the COLA for Payson City employees be 2% and up to 3% merit. However, giving staff, department heads the ability to accelerate for police officers and public safety employees. And what was the other part of the motion too?
The ability.
Kathy
adjust.
to permission to amend
Of
the
what you-
budget
Based on your motion.
based on this motion.
I'll second.
Okay, that's been, motion been seconded. Roll call vote starting with Council Christensen,
Yes.
Council Hewlett,
No.
Council Rowley,
Yes.
Council Moss,
Yes.
Council Hyatt.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 4-1. Okay, thank you.
I just want you to know that it's 2:30 here.
Yes, thank you for being with us. Brian, it really does make a difference.
Not done yet.
And folks, just so you know that it is a sacrifice on his part and we really do care. Okay, go to C, adjourn to a redevelopment agency.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion been seconded, roll call vote starting with Council Hyatt,
Yes.
Council Moss.
Yes.
It's not council. Oh, this is
Yeah, it's
council. Never
director.
mind. We're still
I'm
council.
sorry, Director, well, I'll go back.
No,
Director
we're
Hyatt.
still council.
We're still
until this is
council.
done.
Never mind.
We're still council.
Yep.
Okay, okay, council, we got Council Moss,
Yes.
Council Rowley,
Yes.
Council Hewlett.
Yep.
Council Christensen.
Yes.
Okay, we are adjourned, roll call vote starting with Council Christensen. Yeah,
We need to discuss the public hearing for the RDA, right? Didn't we already vote to go into this?
Yeah.
Yes.
voted to go into
no, we already, okay, then we are in the, now Kathy, did you present that to us already?
Yeah.
Okay, is there any, we'll go to a motion for a public hearing?
So moved.
I'll second. Okay, I'll have it.
Okay, so again, the same rules as before.
We got to vote on it.
What's that?
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor? Well, we're gonna do a roll call. Got flabbergasted.
Director.
Director
Yes.
Hyatt, Director Moss,
Yes.
Director Rowley,
Yes.
Director Hewlett.
Yes.
Director Christensen.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I think we got all our ducks in a row.
Okay. Okay, now that we're in the redevelopment agency, we'll go ahead and, I'll accept a motion for, this item.
That was the public hearing, so now.
So you're in public hearing.
That's what, okay. We're in the public hearing. Same requirements as previous. Please step to the mic, state your name and address, and, whether you agree or disagree with the information we've heard. Okay, not seeing anybody coming up, or is anybody online? Okay, then I'll accept the motion to go out of public hearing.
I motion that we go out of public hearing.
Okay, we have a motion been seconded. Roll call vote starting with Council Christensen, Director Christensen,
Yes.
Director Hewlett,
Yes.
Director Rowley,
Yes.
Director Moss.
Yes.
Director Hyatt.
Yes.
Okay, we are out of the public hearing. Any discussion, council? Oh, yeah, directors.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, on this and all the other topics, I'm grateful to have, we really do have conservative people at the top of our city that watch the numbers and the budget very closely. And Kathy, thank you for your endless data and spreadsheets that you stare at all day, and all the other directors that do so much to keep the city running. And I'm grateful for you keeping track of all these numbers and all these people. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, I'll accept a motion on this fiscal 2025-2026 RDA budget.
Mayor, I motion that we approve the fiscal year 2025-2026 RDA budget.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll second.
Second. Okay, roll call vote starting with Director Hyatt,
Yes.
Director Moss,
Yes.
Director Woodley,
Yes.
Director Hewlett,
Yes.
and Director Christensen.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, I'll accept a motion to adjourn from the redevelopment agency.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay. We have a motion and it's been seconded. Roll call vote. Director Christensen,
Yes.
Director Hewlett,
Yes.
Director Rowley,
Yes.
Director Moss, Director Hyatt.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. We are out of redevelopment agency, and then I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm impressed that you stayed here.
Thanks.
Many times that we have these kind of meetings, everybody leaves, and I'm grateful that you are here and a part of the process. Thank you.